everyone, and welcome to another episode of Business and Beyond's Feature Friday with yours truly, Tania Bartolini. Today's guest is very special to me because he is a law firm strategist. And as many of you know, I am an attorney who thinks that attorneys need to have businesses and not just practices. So this really hits home for me. Gary Mitchell, as I said, is a law firm strategist and the founder of On Track Coach. With over 30 years in business and 2 decades of working with lawyers and law firm owners, he has earned the respect of his clients for his practical, down-to-earth approach to the business of law. And Gary's fourth book, yes, fourth book, is going to be launching soon in June, and it is called The And Approach: How to Grow a Law Firm and Gain More Freedom. So I think any attorney anywhere in the world is going to really want to read that. I know I will. So Gary, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure, Tanya.
So tell me, how did you get into, law firm strategy? How'd you get into
Yeah.
why?
It's not something I lay awake in bed as a teenager growing up thinking, I'm going to be a law firm lawyer coach. No.
So yes, how did that come about?
Well, backstory. I am a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 25, no experience, built a national event, national media coverage, no experience, just
Nice.
practical, trying things, right? Trying it, it works, do it again. If it doesn't work, try something else. That's the plight of an entrepreneur, right? Um, so then I got back heavily involved in politics, and I ran for parliament in 2004, which is the equivalent of the House of Representatives in the US. And thankfully, I lost.
Yes.
Very thankfully, I lost. But that opened the door because in the subsequent election, I found myself coaching a lawyer for the nomination, which would be like your primary. Okay, so he won the nomination, was vehemently hell bent on having me as his campaign manager, and I was equally wanting to go in the other direction. And so I ended up taking on the role. But the focus was basically I built the team around, and my mentor built the team around me so I could focus mostly on coaching the candidate to be the best candidate that he could be. And to see this guy where he started out, I mean, you know, made double masters, geology and law. So
Wow.
double the intellect up here. Okay. No street smarts experience. And as far as political, zero. He was like a blank canvas. If you think of yourself as an artist and you're starting with a blank canvas, that was this candidate. As a political operative, volunteer, and then a candidate, I mean, this was a dream come true in many ways, right? To pass on what I had learned to somebody who was fresh, new, open to learning, who was completely like a sponge. So during the course of the campaign, our campaigns in Canada are much, well, actually, no, they're much shorter than yours, but sometimes if there's a minority, it can be elongated. So it went on and on and on and on. And during the course of the campaign, his best friend, another lawyer, former lawyer, came up to me and said, Gary, you really need to take a look at the legal industry. They need this kind of help. They need soft skills development, marketing, business development, networking, people skills, all that kind of stuff. Well, Tanya, after I picked my jaw off up the ground, right? Because thinking law, it's like one of the oldest professions on the planet. They haven't figured that stuff out.
That
I, I
mhm.
did months of research throughout the United States and Canada. I was probably the first lawyer coach in Canada and one of the first in North America. There was only a few. It was very new in the legal industry. It had been around in corporate since the 80s, right? Business coaching is not new, but business coaching and legal was very new in 2006 when I started.
Yes.
So I did my research, and then as serendipity would have it, literally the first chapter of the Legal Marketing Association outside of the United States was being formed in Vancouver, my hometown. So I went to the forming meeting. I met some veteran legal marketers from all over the United States that had been in the trenches from the very early days when marketing for a law firm was sending out invitations to a client event.
Yes. Because that's
right?
the only way you could market back then.
Exactly. So they were there from the very beginning. Many of them are still friends and colleagues to this day, 20 years after. So
Nice.
that's how I got into it. And I haven't looked back. First article was published within a couple of months, first client after that forming meeting. That first client, by the way, has endorsed my fourth book. He's one of the people endorsing the book. And so it's nice to have some continuity and talk about serendipity and full circle. The co-publisher uh, is a lawyer and the brother of the other lawyer that gave me the idea to go into coaching lawyers.
So it's all
Like, are you kidding me? You can't write that. You can't. You can't come up with that, right? Like,
no, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? That's how
absolutely.
it is.
So I accidentally fell into this and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, I mean, I really truly believe that lawyers need business coaches
Yeah.
because, and yes, we, as an attorney, I can put myself into this. We work so hard.
Yeah.
We usually are very intellectual, right? That's why we get into the law. We know how to solve problems, right? But then we have practices. And if we're not working, we're not making money. So it's just a
Right.
glorified job. It's not really a business. And there's nothing, and this has just been the way it is for a
Yeah.
very long time. And I don't think it's fair.
Well, I definitely like I couldn't be a lawyer. It's way too much. I mean, I originally, I'd thought about it. It crossed my mind in high school, but that's watching the glorified legal shows like LA Law at the time. I'm dating myself, my age, but I definitely would have been a litigator, Tanya. I wouldn't be sitting at a desk doing documents, but they really do, because in fairness to lawyers, it's the whole reason we hire them. The analytical skills, the critical thinking skills. Like it's either looking for a problem, preventing a problem, or correcting a problem, right? In business, it's completely opposite. Like all the skills that require you to be a great lawyer, and the reason we hire lawyers, why we need lawyers and their way of thinking, all those skills are diametrically opposed to those of an entrepreneur and business person, right?
Right.
As entrepreneurs, we are creative, we are fluid, we are always looking to collaborate, more ideas, open opportunities. That's the exact opposite of a lawyer. So most of my work is a lot around psychology and mindset, right? Helping them to understand the way they think, and it's okay. It's not criticism at all, right?
No.
I've had people tell me, wow, you really get lawyers. And I laugh. I go, well, I damn well should be. I've been working with them for 20 years. If there's something would be wrong if I didn't understand lawyers at this point.
Right.
So many people go, oh, well, law school doesn't teach this and law school doesn't teach that. Well, law school has a purpose, right? And it does what it does. We can't expect law school to do everything, right? One thing law school does is it trains lawyers how to learn. And when I given them guidance and direction and the fast track of how to get from here to here, they learn very, very quickly. If they're open to the coaching, right? They want to learn, they're studious. So when I do actually get a client that is open to the coaching, the shift can happen pretty quickly. The transformation can happen pretty quickly. And of course, like any other profession, there's the scale. There's very entrepreneurial lawyers that I've met, and there's very non-entrepreneurial lawyers, and even some that own law firms that are non-entrepreneurial, but we build a management team around them, right? There's always a solution. I always build from the strength of the owner, excuse me, of the firm, and not try and put them in a cookie cutter situation or do that. So it's fascinating. It's never boring. I will tell you that.
See, and this is why I have this podcast, is because I want entrepreneurs, whether they're lawyers or just business people, whatever, to understand that they can build a business that works for them, right?
Right.
You don't have to build the business that worked for Joe next door or Jane.
That's the biggest mistake you can make, is trying to do it someone else's way. I mean, I actually, in hindsight, right, we're a couple of months away from the publishing of the book, and the process has been very long. Um, as I said, it's my fourth book, but this is a more serious publisher, so I'm actually quite excited about the potential outcome. But the title should have been The And Approach. Grow a law firm and dot dot dot, right? Instead of putting freedom in there, because not all lawyers want freedom. Some want bigger, want more money, want more other stuff, right? It's not for me to decide what. But the point of it is, do it your way. Like, you have certain skill sets, know your audience, know who you're going after, and know yourself, and build around your strengths. Don't try to be something else, right? I've gone a very different way. Like, when I got started, I was, as I said, I was one of the first in Canada, if not the first lawyer coach. There were followers soon after into the market. In fact, one of the first marketing director that introduced me to my first client, she had already been certified as a coach, and she didn't take. It was 6 months after I got started with my first client, and she left the law firm and she went out into her own coaching practice. That's how quickly people started to follow. And I don't mind that, because rather than being the only one on the mountaintop, right? Now there's a bunch of people with different approaches to the coaching. My approach comes from the entrepreneurial bent. I'm a serial entrepreneur, right? I love to build. I love to create. And not only my own thing, but I get to help other people build and create every day. And so it's always creative, which I love. I have a creative bent to myself. And that's probably why the marketing comes naturally, the networking comes naturally, the writing comes naturally. I never, oh my God, in a million years, I never thought I'd be an author. And I thoroughly love writing. I would have never thought of that growing up. No.
That's awesome. I love when things just fall into place and it just brings more value, right?
If you look back, right? Like, if you look back, because I like to analyze things, right? To understand them. If you look back, you can see the path,
This
right? When you're in it, you don't know where it's going, right? But when you look back in hindsight, you go, oh yeah, I like that. That's, I gravitated to that. I did that. That built that. That led to that. That went there. Right. But
yes.
when you're in it, you can't see it.
No, but even when you're in it, I think if you look back at where you have come from, you can kind of see where it could lead.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
absolutely. Like,
Um,
I always had an affinity for history, sociology, people, marketing, politics. Like, everything was around people,
was
right?
just
So,
let's talk about your business,
yep.
right? Because this podcast is about how you specifically grew your business and what obstacles do you want to share with us that you have had to overcome? And more importantly, how have you overcome the
Okay. Well, I
obstacles?
think I'll start with the number one. It has to be. I don't know if it's scientific, but the number one mistake most entrepreneurs make when they're starting out, especially, and hopefully they don't do it for too long, is try and do everything on their own, right?
That been there, done
Yep.
that. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It's 99.99999% of clients, and myself included in the
Yep.
early days. Every business owner, when they're starting out, they're in scarcity, right? They're trying to get clients, they're trying to get revenue. So they think they're doing themselves a favor by doing all the tasks and saving money. In actuality, I'm a fan. One of the expressions I use, let's do the math.
Yes, I love it.
So how much do you, like, maybe you don't charge an hour, but how much do you basically charge for your services, whether it's hourly, monthly, whatever? Okay. And how good are you at that task? Why? Because I hate it. I procrastinate on it. I'm not that great at it, but I have to do it. I think I'm saving money. Okay, let's really do the math. You're half-assed. It's something you hate. You're never going to improve on it. It's not your core skill. And there's people out there that you could hire for a tenth of what you can earn that
Yep.
can do it much better, actually enjoy it, and will continuously improve in the role. Simple as that. Do the math.
Ding, 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 ding.
So
Right?
if I could give entrepreneurs just one piece of advice, it would be that as soon as you can, early on, figure out your financing so that you can focus on your skills, what you do best. And then this is what I do with my clients. I help build the team around their strengths, right? Like used to be, I start with a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, right?
Yes.
Old school, because I'm old enough to remember old school. Old school was, well, pick up your socks. You've got to improve your weaknesses, right? And then comes along a guy by the name of Steve Jobs, and he turned that completely upside down. And he said, forget about your weaknesses. You're never going to be great at them, which is true. We
It
aren't.
is true.
We procrastinate. We're not. We don't enjoy them usually, right? So how much time are we going to put into something that we don't enjoy? No, it's not going to happen. Focus on your strengths and master them, and then build a team around you. And so this is my philosophy, and it works every single time. It's not exactly the same formula because each individual is different, but you work around your strengths. You focus on mastering whatever craft it is you have, right? The reason why you've gone into business, because you're passionate about this. Focus all of it on that and build a team. Figure it out. Figure out how to build a team. I mean, now in this day and age, there's no excuse. You don't have to hire full-time people. You can hire them from across the country or across the world, right? COVID did a lot of good things for business. One of them
Yes.
was the long distance and remote working. The models have changed. There's no rules. Forget about anything you've ever learned about building a business. You don't have to have bricks and mortar most of the time, a lot of the time, not all the time, but you don't necessarily have to have bricks and mortar. But the most important thing you can do is build around your strengths and build a team start as early as you can. When you hear about really wildly successful overnight successes, there's nothing like an overnight success. It doesn't happen. But you hear about this early young team started in a garage and they built the team. They built the
Yes.
team. And it went in various directions, but they had the right team and they were able to navigate and get out. And then all of a sudden, boom, it explodes. Nothing is overnight. But the point is, you hear back those stories. I love hearing them. And it goes back to the roots of whoever the guy or person who had the idea, they immediately started to build a team around them.
That's
Complementary skills, right?
I love that. Two things that I want my audience to really, I want to hit this hard, right? One
Yeah.
is strengthen your strengths, right?
Yes.
Don't worry about your weaknesses. Who cares about your weaknesses? Each person on this earth has a strength that is a superpower that other people
That's right.
have. Right? Why
Yep.
are we concentrating on trying to be better at everything when we can be great at our super strength? Right?
Yeah.
And bring so much more value, and not just to everybody around us, but to ourselves. Because when you're
Absolutely.
doing what you're doing,
Absolutely. Way more fulfilled.
it
Way more.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
then
then,
then you're on point with your purpose when you actually do that. That's magical almost. It's like, you're like, how did I get here? It doesn't matter. I'm here now. And
yeah,
this is clearly why I am here, right? This
right.
is something that I do well. It may not be better than everyone out there, but I certainly do it well and I'm recognized for it. So why do I stretch myself too thin trying to be all things to all people? No. And I swear, Tania, it is the number one mistake business owners of all backgrounds, all kinds of businesses. Everybody makes the same mistake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. From school, we are conditioned to always work on our weaknesses.
Yeah, I know.
Right? It's always,
Yeah.
oh, you have a
Well,
C in
see,
the
you know
class,
what?
let's work
My
on it.
BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. You've heard of that before, right?
Yes.
Okay. My BHAG is to create an endowment or build a center for entrepreneurship at one of the top business schools in North America, and it's gonna knock down everything that has always been taught in business from the theory point of view, and it will be from the entrepreneur point of view, and that is you don't focus on your weaknesses, you focus on your strength, and you build a team because there are people out there who can do it way better than you, faster, better. They enjoy it, and they'll be an integral part of your team. And that frees you up to focus on what you do and love doing.
And it costs you less than doing it
It
yourself.
actually will save you a lot of money, a lot in the long
And
run.
heartache and
Yes.
sleepless
Oh, and stress.
nights
Oh
and
yeah.
pain and
Oh,
stress,
absolutely.
right?
Oh my God.
Like all of it. So thank you for sharing that, because I was definitely a person who did that as well, right? That was a mistake that I did, and I learned from it. And now
Yeah.
I just concentrate on my strengths, because that's where my genius lies, right? And
You know, I had a consultation today, and the law firm owner said, "Yeah, I want to learn from your mistakes." Smart,
oh,
very
love,
smart that he said that, right? That's
yes,
the value of hiring a coach, because I've already made pretty much all the mistakes. And if I haven't made them, my clients have made them. So when you hire me, we can skip all that because the learning happens in the mistakes,
that's
right?
the thing, right? What is that saying? Smart people learn from their own mistakes, geniuses learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess so. Yes, I like to think there's a bridge in between there somewhere. I, I I have learned a lot from my own mistakes, but I have also learned from other mistakes. Yeah,
That's yeah, and that's where growth comes in. That's
I
why
like that one. I've never heard it, by the way, Tanya. I like that.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
smart people
Well,
learn from their mistakes. Geniuses learn from other people's mistakes.
so there we go. You heard it here on
I
Beyond
did.
Business
I
and
will always
Beyond.
give you credit.
I'm sure I'm not the one who came up with it, but that's okay. I'll take the credit anyways. So no, thank you for sharing that, because that is a big mistake that people do.
Yeah,
And I love the objectivity that you brought to it, is a look at the numbers, right?
yeah.
How
Just do the
much
math.
can you bring in versus how much can you pay someone else to do it? So one of the biggest things that I tell people is, usually I found the bookkeeping,
Yeah,
right? Most business owners do not like math, do not like the bookkeeping, and
hate
yet
it.
do it
Hate it.
anyways.
Yeah.
Right. And why? Why spend 4, 5, 6 hours a week trying to do bookkeeping when you can hire a bookkeeper for 1 hour a week to do the same thing that you've just done?
Oh,
And
see, that's a no. That's one of the ones that was a no-brainer for me. I hate that stuff, and the way I do it, because I always, and this I advise my clients to do this too. The thing that you hate the most, that you usually procrastinate on, do it first. So the first of every month, I get up very early in the morning. That's my habit. I do my monthly from the month before and get it off to my bookkeeper. And now I've turned it into a positive. I actually even look forward to now, because I'm tackling the one thing I hate the most in the first few hours of the new month, and it's done,
it's
right?
gone.
It's off to the bookkeeper. I mean, we have to do some stuff ourselves, right? To
Yes.
organize to send to the bookkeeper. But there's a good example, because I loathe it. I can't stand it. It makes my brain hurt. So I have it. I make sure I have a good night's sleep on the 31st or the 30th or whatever the last day of the month is. Even New Year's Day this year, I'm in Mexico for the winter. I work for Mexico in the winter. And I was like, I'm watching the fireworks. I'm not drinking. I'm doing my bookkeeping first thing in the morning.
No, that's dedication. But that's what you need
No,
from
it's
people.
selfish. It's selfish because I get the stuff I hate out of the way.
And but that's still dedication,
I
right?
guess. I guess
Um,
it's discipline. Discipline.
it's
Yeah.
discipline, yes.
Yeah.
Um, so
But there's another lesson for your listeners. The stuff that you procrastinate, the stuff that you hate, that you still have to do, right? If it's a daily thing, do it first thing in the morning, get it off your desk. And then the rest of the day, you're playing more time with the things you enjoy.
that I
If
love
you
it.
do if you do just that one thing, you are going to notice more fulfillment day to day. I can guarantee it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, best case scenario, hire someone else to do it for you.
Well, if that's where you want to get to, if you can't at this point, you're really early days, you don't
Yes.
have the funds, do it first, get rid of it.
And be done. I love
And
it.
as fast as you can, hire someone else.
Yes. Team, build a team,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's what it takes, a village to
The,
raise a
the
child.
smartest, the smartest thing I ever did, hire an EA.
There. See?
She's my right arm. I had her on board about 6 years ago as a VA, virtual assistant. There was an agency here in Canada called Virtual Gurus. And so I got to know her. It was very part-time. But I always thought in the back of my mind, I'm like, this person has a really good work ethic. Like, if she doesn't know something, she'll admit it, but then she's going to figure it out, or she'll source it. She'll source out somebody who does know how to do this. That's
Nice.
the kind of help I need. I need, like, that frees me up to think higher level, right? To think on my business, because my work is actually thinking about other people's businesses every day, right?
Yes.
You can get caught up in that. So the smartest thing I've ever done in 20 years, without a doubt, was hire an EA.
An executive assistant who can help you organize and get your stuff done.
And I'm helping her to, she gave me a compliment. She goes, I really love working with you. I don't have her full time, I have her part time. She has another gig. And she said, I really love working with you because you don't micromanage me. My other employer micromanages me. And I said, well, thank you for bringing that up, because I coach, don't micromanage. Take the leash off. If you've got the right people around you, you want to empower them to go and think and come to you with ideas. Steve Jobs again, right? We
Yeah.
don't hire smart people so we can tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do.
And isn't that what makes things grow and
Well,
make
that's another tip for your audience. Like,
yes.
look for smart people in complementary areas, smarter than you. Always look for smarter than you. Get rid of the ego. Don't have to be the smartest person in the room. In fact, I don't want to ever be the smartest person in the room when I'm working with my team. I want them to be smarter.
So they can help me grow.
That's
Right?
right.
Yes,
Yep.
because if I'm the smartest one, then it's all on me. And it's
That's
only,
right.
I can grow only as much as I know.
That's right.
Why? There's so much more in life. There's
Mm-hmm.
so much more. And so, yes, I love that. Hire people who are smarter than you so they can take you up to the next level.
Right.
Right. So those are great tidbits so far. Everybody, please keep listening. This is very important. It really is, because this is the only way that anybody can grow and get out of this rut and actually have a fulfilling life, let alone
Yeah. Well, that's the only way. Like, the juxta of the book, the and approach, how to grow your law firm and gain more freedom. It's all about building your team. You can't do it on your own. You will never have freedom if you try and do it on your own. Never. You know
no.
what? One of the dedications. I met this lawyer from Long Island, New York. She was senior in her career. It's the most remarkable story. She built a multi seven-figure tax law firm, Long Island. She had been in accounting and worked downtown in New York, and had commuted for years. But then she went on her own. She built her own firm, working in the office 2 days a week so she could raise her two daughters. That's growth and dot, 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 right? There's the other thing about the and approach. It's deliberate. You have to be deliberate. You have to start from the beginning and say, I'm going to grow this business, and I'm going to have time with my children, and I'm going to have time to travel, and I'm going to have time with my spouse, whatever your and is, right? And I interchange the why with and all the time. Like, what is your why? It's the same as what is your and? And yeah, what is your and? And think and approach. Don't think or, get rid of or. I actually said to the lawyer this morning, he said, what about this or that? I said, if you work with me, if you hire me, I'm going to work my darndest to have you remove or from your vocabulary. No more. And now some people will go, oh, this sounds like too much, blah, 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 blah. I'm the furthest thing from fluffy and promotional BS. I really am. My clients really do appreciate when I get down to the nitty gritty. This does work when you are intentional, when you think from the very beginning, I'm going to grow this business, and I'm going to do this. And it's a mindset shift. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, but it's doable.
It most certainly is doable. And it's just
I,
a matter of planning and putting the
yeah,
right
absolutely.
people in place,
Yeah.
right? And yes, you might have to have more than one hat on when you're first starting out.
Absolutely. Yes, I recognize that. Yep.
Right? When you're planning, you know exactly what your goals are, who you're going to hire next, what you're going to do next, so that you can get that intentional
Oh,
freedom.
I'm a broken record when it comes to planning. Absolutely. I plan for everything, like every day.
That's
Before I finish my day, I've got tomorrow laid out. So
yes.
I close the laptop because I'm traveling, close the laptop, and I'm done, right? And tomorrow's already laid out. Get back to it in the morning, review the day, check email to see if anything's changed, right? Do I
Yes.
need to update it? The thing about a plan is this: it's always going to change. It's always going to change,
And
but
that's okay.
at least you've got a starting point. And when, not if, and when you get sidetracked, you've got something to come back to and to ground you again, something to hold you down and ground you. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm like plan for absolutely everything. Going to a networking function, plan
Yes.
ahead, have an idea of who you want to meet, who you want to talk to, who you want to get introduced to, who do you really want to have an in-depth conversation with or follow up, what's going to be the follow-up, like the whole thing, plan. Broken record. My clients sometimes are like, ah.
Well, it is true. Failure to plan is planning to fail.
It is. It truly is. Absolutely.
It is because it's either you are intentional about what you're doing or everything around you is going to make you do things that it wants.
Yep.
Right? Like, so
Yep.
why not live your life for yourself?
Well, and stuff will always happen. It does. Life happens, right? Stuff happens. There's other expressions for that. I'm sure your audience can put the pieces together on that one. But basically, life happens, right? But
Yes.
my point is, there's always something to come back to, right? I love the other thing too is this is another piece of advice too. So it's more of a fun exercise. Do it on the weekend. Like Saturday morning, this is my favorite thing to do. Is every Saturday is when I review the overall my BHAGs, the big goals, the big plan, the big picture, and then what's the plan this week? What's the plan this month? We got two months to the book, and I do it soft. I kind of call it soft planning so that it's not forced. I'm not like sitting there and it's a Saturday morning. I'm relaxed. There's no calls. There's no emails. I'm not being interrupted. You should be having fun with this. This is your business, right?
Yes.
This is you. It's all yours. Your rules, your plan, your baby. Like, and literally it is your baby. Like, yeah, have fun with it along the way.
Good. So we've talked about some of the things that attorneys face. We've talked about some of the things that are obstacles when you're an entrepreneur and you're opening up a business. So talk to me a little bit about what's working in your business and how you got it to work.
What's working in my business is I got it in my own way, right? And I'm way more. Now, come on, I've been in it 20 years, right? So if there's people who are just starting out or they're in their first or second year, it's a whole different ball game, right?
Yeah.
Start up to this phase. What keeps me going is never stop learning. Like I'm embracing AI like you wouldn't believe. And I was saying to friends yesterday, I'm really grateful to be at this stage of my career where I can actually see the advent of AI. I can see the applications in my business and I can see the potential and possibilities. And I will see some of the results. I mean, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
around forever. I am nearing the latter part of my career. But it's exciting. And all it for me 20 years in, I've always got to have a spark. I've always got to be learning new things, right? My expression is when I stop learning, light the match. I'm done. Like I'm done. So that personally keeps me going and it gets me through the hard times. I'm going through stressful times. Obviously in 20 years it hasn't been all like peaches and sunshine. Like downturns in the economy, changes in local and geopolitical, blah, 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 blah. Everybody, we don't need to go into that.
Yep.
Um, but focusing on like what you love, what you're passionate about, keeping a spark, like always trying something new, looking for a new approach, looking new, absorbing new information, listening. I'm an audiobook fan, so I listen to books, listening, absorbing more information. I've listened to some doozies in the last year, like just amazing. Or I'm laughing out loud, even in public, as I'm listening to the author, because I'm getting it. I'm like shaking my head and laughing, going, "Wow, you hit it on the nail." So whatever you know yourself, whatever you can do to keep yourself motivated and positive, the positive frame of mind, that's critical. That's really, really critical, especially in these crazy times that we are in. I mean,
It's
all times are crazy, but we've gone to a whole new level, right? Like
that's
historical level of craziness.
there's always something you can look at that's negative, and there's
Yep,
always something you can look at that's positive.
that's
So
right.
what do you choose, right?
That's right.
Again, with the
That's right. We choose.
intentionality.
We do choose. Yeah.
Yes. So what are your intentions? Are you intentional about being positive and motivating and moving forward with your business, or are you not?
And they're both contagious,
Yes,
right? Negativity and positivity. They're both contagious. Which one do you want to help spread?
exactly.
Which one will your clients, your family, your friends, your colleagues, which one will they appreciate? Right?
And that's the thing, it's funny because I've had people tell me or think that I am naive because I'm
Mm,
always positive. And it's kind of difficult to show that, just because I know what's going on, just
yeah,
because I choose not to let it affect my mood and my
yeah,
life and my business, doesn't
yeah,
mean that I don't know that it's there.
yeah, exactly. Oh
Right.
yeah.
There's a big difference. It's knowing what's there and continuing to say, no, I choose a different path.
Yeah. I'm going to stay focused on what it comes down to for me, focusing on what little control I have. And the little sphere of influence or control I have keeps me in my happy place, right? Where I can positively impact other people's lives and careers. And I can be positive with friends too. And maybe just say one thing, a smile, and it makes their day, right?
And
Little
yes,
things, little things. So I can't do anything about the bigger picture, not a damn thing. Okay. And it's the hardest thing to just accept that and then narrow the focus on what you can do. And that really gets you more focused on what your business is and your passion for it and growing. Because, it's the same in the States. Throughout North America, the majority of GDP is generated by small businesses,
yes,
entrepreneurs, and small businesses. That is the crux of our economies in the Western world. Think about that for a minute. We are making a difference one by one by one by one by one. Add them all up, right? So, what kind of difference do I make? I mean, I really it was kind of last February, and I had a kind of an aha moment in life. I looked around and it was starting to get serious, right? Starting to get serious. And I looked around. I was a couple of days in. I don't have cable. I now keep in mind I used to be a political activist
yes.
and junkie, and so I was a news junkie, and I got off of that. I don't have cable. I watch it in bits and spurts, so I know what I'm aware to know what's going on, but I know my limits, and they're less and less and less and less and less. And I just kind of asked myself. I looked around and went, "Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it coming on." Because I've built very sensitive barriers now, which is good. I did that on purpose, and I kind of just went, okay, if the world is blowing up in 6 months, literally, if the world is blowing up in 6 months, how do I want to live my last days? Consumed with anxiety and stress, or squeezing every ounce of joy and fulfillment out of every day I can? Easy choice for me. Easy
That
choice.
it's a choice.
And just things Tanya took off. Last year was a transformative year. It was the best year in business in 20 years. And it's because I let go of all the stuff I have no control over and focus as much as I can on myself, my own health, right? My fitness, my nutrition, my energy, taking care of myself. That's also another tip for your audience. We
Yes.
must practice self care. We must.
It
Otherwise, we're
is
no good to
selfish
anyone
not
else.
to.
No, it's exactly right. You know, I say this in the book because there's a whole chapter about self care, by the way. But I will never forget my first time on an airplane. I'm 18 years old. I'm naive, and the flight attendants go about their presentation, right?
Yes.
And I will never forget this for the life of me. And I quote it in the book. So they're doing it, and they say, "And please, you know, before you try to attempt to help the elderly or children, put your own mask on first." Well, the chapter is called "Your Mask First." And I listened and I could see elderly people and babies like within eye shot of my seat. And I go, well, that's selfish. But I was 18. I didn't know anything. And then years later, I'm like, that kind of makes sense. If you can't breathe, you're not much help to anyone else.
Exactly.
So that's another, it's underrated, I'm telling you, especially nowadays. And when I say self-care, that's mental health care too, right?
Yes.
Like,
It's
and
all of
that's
it.
what we were talking about, like letting go of what we can't control, focusing on what we can, pouring your passion and your energy and funneling that energy, because it's a lot of energy that can be gone into anger or frustration or what have you. It's a lot of energy. Focus it. It's very powerful. Focus it onto the thing that you're trying to build,
That's,
right?
you know, it's funny. I always tell people, don't you owe it to your clients to be the best you when you're with them?
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
owe it to your family to be the best version of yourself when you're with them? Don't you
Yeah.
owe it to your friends to be the best version of yourself when you're
That's
with
actually between you and me. That's a part of my morning routine. Is I am making an intention to be the best that I can be today.
yeah,
That's
and if
all we can. That's all we can ask,
but
right?
if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to be the best that you can be? You
I'm
can't,
never. Absolutely not. Not even close. No.
right? So taking care of yourself is the most selfless act that you can do for
Yeah.
your friends, your clients, your family,
Yeah,
because
because then you're able to give more of yourself to everyone. Yeah.
yes,
And a
yes,
lot of people need it. And a lot of people need it, right?
yes. And you
Some
know,
people will struggle with that much more. So
it is. So we're coming to the end of our session, but how can people get a hold of you? How can they work with you? How can they find out more information about you?
easy peasy, Gary Mitchell on LinkedIn, or the website is, there's no K in On Track on purpose. It's a brand thing, stylized thing. OnTrackCoach.com. No K. Either way, visit me on LinkedIn. Say hi. I'd love to hear what you thought of the show and the tips. And I hope you take some of them, even just some of them, because they work.
It's
It's been
yes.
such a pleasure, Tanya.
And well, before you go, if you missed that, don't worry. As always, it will be in the comments. It will be at the end of the podcast. And before I let you go, Gary, although thank you
Okay.
so much for such an amazing session and podcast today, if you could only give entrepreneurs one piece of advice for them to be successful, what would that be?
I've already given it. Build the best team you can around you, around your strengths.
There you go. Build the
Without a
best
doubt.
team around your strengths. Thank you so much for being here today. It has definitely been a pleasure. Thank you to all of the listeners for being here today as well. I would love to know your thoughts as well. Get a hold of Gary, let him know what your thoughts are, and we will see you next time.